Hi everyone, welcome to the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. Well, we're going to be in for a fabulous night tonight. We have got the two pretty girls from London called Valeri and Christina from the Queen of Hearts Couture Cakes. They're going to be doing a super duper demo for you tonight. Seriously, you're going to love it. I love those girls. They've done classes in our kitchen. They do the most fantastic displays at the cake shows, and they're the sweetest, nicest, kindest girls you could ever possibly meet. You're going to love watching them. They're also going to show you a few of their products that they sell. They're amazing cake cloth. Have a look at it. If you've never tried them, watch what they do with this cake cloth. They've got some scrapers, they've got some of those spoons as well, all available on our website. Are we still live, Simon?
Yes.
Good. They're all available on our website. So you know the measuring spoons that you keep asking me about? Well, I've got them back in stock. So everything they're going to show you tonight is now back in stock on the website. The girls are here. And I just forgot to say, Simon is in the kitchen. Hi,
Hello.
Simon.
Hello, everyone.
So we've had a great week. I'm sorry I've not popped up very much, but as you know, we were doing our cupcake bouquet class online, and it was fantastic. We had Simon and Karen in the kitchen yesterday. We had a fantastic audience watching it on the online class. They all did their cupcake bouquets. I am so proud of them. I was actually overwhelmed this morning. So any of you who've missed the class, the actual live class, you can still participate, you can still join, you can still sign up, and people have been signing up today. And all that happens is I send through to you your T's and C's, and then I get you into the group and you just follow the live. It's a very chilled out experience, and lots of people on here who are watching now are probably watching who was on that class yesterday, and they're going to tell you how fabulous it was. We had great fun, and all you're going to do is watch that live and follow everything that I tell you to do. It will be fantastic. So just a couple of new products that we've got coming in on the website. John popped a post up about flour. Now, flour is very difficult to get hold of, and I'll tell you why. A lot of manufacturers send their products to contract packagers, and when all the virus happened and everything else, and we were all told to, close our businesses, well, all the contract packagers got sent home on furlough. Then what happened then is all the companies can't get their stuff packaged, so they've got it filled up in their mills and everything. They can't get it packaged, and now they're back in the queues again, waiting to get their products through, and that's why there's such a shortage of flour. We've been very, very lucky. We're dealing with a company called Nelstrop, who are absolutely amazing. We've also brought Wright's baking products as well. They've been amazing. I'm struggling to get strong flour and wholemeal flour in the smaller bags, the 1.5 kg bags, but I can get strong bread flour and wholemeal flour in the 16 kilo bags. A few of you have asked me, can I reduce them? I can't reduce them down or bring them down until I have a special room for them, because as you know, everything that we are in our place is nut-free and gluten-free. So until I actually develop a room in there that is for where I can do the flour, then I actually can't do nothing with this. So I can only sell it in 16 kilo bags. I am going to put it on the website tonight. It will be for sale, but I do want you to understand something. When you buy, okay, what happens is everything goes by weight. So this means that we're going to send this via DPD. So if you buy a bag of this, you can only buy the bag, okay, one bag each per person. To be fair, what I would do is find out if you've got a couple of friends and you want to divide it up yourselves. You can only buy one bag each. You can't add nothing else to your shopping basket. You will get charged half the shipping fee, and we will upgrade it. It will cost us nearly £10 to send it. So you'll be paying £4 something for the shipping, and we'll be paying the balance. So we're going to go 50-50 with you on the shipping fee to get it out with DPD, which means that you get it on the next day. So while Simon is filming, have we lost everybody?
I don't know.
I
can't see anyone
signals.
there. The girls are still there.
Good, well that's great then. So have you not thought about popping your phone on, Simon?
No. Don't want anything interfering.
No, okay then. So hopefully we are still running live. Anyhow, I am going to go
I think the girls can see us live, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yes, they can, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So as I'm going to go into my office and pop these on the website and some other goodies on the website, I'm going to leave the girls in the capable hands of Simon, just like we did last week with Ryan. So Simon won't be talking, but the girls will be talking to Simon when they want the overhead camera and when they want the front camera, and it's really exciting. We love it. It just makes it so much more professional. So I believe the girls are eager and waiting to go, aren't they, Simon?
I don't know, give us a wave. Give us a wave, girls.
Are you eager, ready to go,
Come
girls?
on, you're live now, give us a wave.
So shall we go over to London and join the girls?
Oh, I did it, just did
You
it then.
did it,
Yeah,
right, okay. So we've gone over to London, so they've had a bit of a surprise, have they, the girls?
Yeah, right, so, right.
Simon, where are we now? Will we be back here or are we back with the girls?
We're back with you, Carol. We're going to go
Right.
to the girls now.
Okay, it might be a good idea if Simon waited till I give the cue, and we are now going over to London. So the girls were probably there, like,
So where are you guys?
So you got a quick flash of
Which
those.
part of your house
So
are
have
you
a
in?
fabulous night tonight. I'll put these on the website. If you want them, they're there, they're available, but I can only do the 16 kilos, okay?
Right, girls.
Right, good. Over to London we go.
Right,
Bye.
here you go.
Oh
Sorry,
my God.
You're live now. Right.
Yeah,
off you
all
go.
good?
Yeah.
All right. Hi again, everyone.
Hi everyone, my name is Christina.
And Valerie from Queen of Hearts Couture
Couture
Cakes. And so which part of your house are you in now? Are you in your bedroom? In your living room?
In the kitchen.
Are you in pajamas? Because we are.
Don't tell anyone.
Well, so today it's going to be, again, of course, all buttercream.
Yeah.
And so we thought, we've already sort of like pre-covered. This is your crumb coating. We did not bake a real cake. We actually wanted to show you how to kind of like cover and fill a real cake, but we don't have any butter. So this
We do have lots of sugar
yeah, and flour.
and flour from
So-
Carol, but we don't have butter.
We don't have butter. So if you guys know any website that would deliver like not 25 kilograms of butter, at least, a few kilos, then let us know. It will be very, very helpful. But anyway, freshly baked cake, already crumb
8
coated.
inches by 4 inches high.
Yes. But tell them first what we're going to do today.
Actually, I don't know. What are we gonna do today? No, actually, we are gonna do a basket-inspired cake.
Yes.
Is that how you would say it? With full flowers, and we're gonna show you how to do basket weaving, Queen of Hearts style.
Yes. But typically you'd see like basket weaving onto the side of the cake, full on side of the cake. So instead of doing basket weaving onto the side, which would take forever to do, we thought we'd do a basket on the top of the cake. So at least it just gives you a little bit of something different,
Option.
an idea, and also better for the camera. So, but whatever you do onto the side, anyway, you can do onto the, whatever you do onto the top could be done onto the side. Anyway.
Definitely. So we are gonna start with the covering of the cake.
Mm-hmm.
As Valerie mentioned, this is already crumb coated. So we are gonna push through with the final cover.
Final cover.
Take away.
Thank you, Christina. So, we didn't really tint the color of the buttercream. This is just a normal color of buttercream. And the reason why we didn't color it, because the flowers would have lots of colors in it. So we didn't want too much color. So a light background would be really good. There you go. So we've got nice colors going on there. So, and as you can see, our buttercream is put on a piping bag. This is a thick piping bag that we have, okay? And you can see that from Carl's website as well. So a thick piping bag, later on you'll see the difference between the thin piping bag, but we like putting ours in a piping bag because it's less messy, and also you can control the amount of buttercream that you put onto your cake. There's no right or wrong. You can start from top, you can start on the side, but for us, we like starting onto the side. So whatever excess buttercream, we put it on top, and then you can now gauge as to how much more buttercream you need to apply. So,
Actually, guys, this is the first time we are gonna do a cake in more than a month's time, isn't it?
yeah,
So yeah.
we've been doing face shields that we donated to NHS frontliners, and thank you everyone who has sent their donations, by the way. So we spent like about more than 2 weeks for that, isn't it? So this is the first time that we're actually doing a cake. We might have forgotten some. Anyway,
Good
you
luck.
guys are cool. You be fine. We'll be fine. Okay, so pretty much, obviously, you apply. This would be the final coating, so it will be thick amount of buttercream, and we like using a short but angled palette knife, because it's much manageable when you spread it. Now we hate doing like this, and we actually discourage people spread your buttercream like this because you keep bending and then your shoulders are not really on a normal position. So if you guys are doing cakes as a business, imagine you're doing this and bending all the time. So rather than doing that and cost you backaches, just do it normally on your normal side. I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna do it this way, and I hope is okay. So move it a little bit onto my left side and then go up and down and spread it, of course, with pressure. Okay, I can actually move a little bit, but Christina will be off the frame.
You're gonna see my pajama on the side, so
I will just try
it's alright.
and,
You can move.
But ideally, obviously, you wanted to move your cake and then have a good distance that you can actually see it. So if you look at my body, I'm just standing straight and I'm not really like bending too much. So I know you probably have your own ways covering your cake and whatnot, but it's never too late to change for a better, if it would actually help you and prevent you from having back problems or shoulder problems.
So actually, we've been doing a couple of things during the last month that we are just at home. We learned how to do sourdough breads. Anyone crazy about sourdough bread? Because we are crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy about sourdough bread. Yeah.
loving it. How many trials did you do? I was not the one baking. It was Christina. I'm addicted in eating them, but I'm busy with some other things.
Yeah. Well, 7 days for the starter and 3 attempts, 2 fails and 1 successful one, and I think I finally got the correct recipe here.
And actually, all the starter jars are there. She has 3 of them, experimenting 3 recipes for the starter.
They're my babies.
Okay, so it's basically repeating all the way around, and of course, don't forget pressure. Okay, so this is how it would look like, and you need to even it out. We're aiming for basically a smooth kind of like finish. So we are working on a 4-inch high cake. So a typical scraper would be, plastic, acrylic, metal. This is an acrylic. We love using acrylic because it's somewhat in between, not too light as a plastic and not too heavy
as a metal.
and also it doesn't bend because it's our scrapers, which has got a lovely logo there. Well, even though you submerge it or wash it in hot water, it doesn't kind of like curve or bend, so it's just really, really good. Okay, so when you do this, you don't necessarily have to do it all in one go. You just go back to it, make sure this part is really flat onto the board, okay?
To the side.
And then not 90 degrees, okay? 45 degrees, and make sure you use this side of the blade side of your scraper, not this part, because it will drag your buttercream. So there you go, flat onto the board, and then this 45 degrees, put pressure, okay? And then basically you follow the shape of your cake. So don't do this, okay? I'm gonna do it again. Don't do this, but follow the shape of your cake instead. All right? That is where common mistakes happen. There you go. So 45 degrees with pressure. So that's one go. Okay. It's not yet even. Before I clean this off, I'm going to keep redoing that same spot. There you go. That's smooth enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So this now I'm going to put on top. And then I'll keep redoing it all the way around the cake. Ah. You can tell them about the board.
No, I'm laughing because it's slightly higher for Valerie, and she's not the tallest person, so
Wow.
is it difficult for you?
Actually, it's good because it's nearly eye level. Tell them about the board.
So as you can see, guys, all our boards are not, they are never naked. We always say no to naked boards. So this one here is covered with a vinyl sticker. You can easily purchase it online, but for our stickers, for these covers, we get them from Wilkinson or Wilco. I think you can do deliveries at Wilco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or in the US, they call it contact paper.
Yes.
So at least, even though the plane is not too full of designs, it's not as, it's gonna look a lot better because it has got cover on the board. So we always say no to naked boards.
Yes. Okay, so as you can see onto the side, it's fairly even, okay, and basically it will never become super smooth if you're just using a scraper. So no need to spend too much time on that because we are still going to do the final step on how you could really smoothen your cakes. But again, I wanted to remind you, do not spend too much time trying to smooth out your cake because there's actually another way to do it. Okay.
Because we are gonna do some magic afterwards.
Yes. So all you have to do, your aim is basically to make sure that you have removed, it's even out the thickness of buttercream and just remove any excess buttercream.
She keeps on squeezing me onto the
I
side.
need space. So I've done the top and I'm doing again onto the side. At this point, it's pretty much a repeating process. So do onto the side and then the top if you've got any excess. Okay, we didn't have a bowl.
Make sure you will have a bowl right next to you.
Yeah.
So you don't have a waste.
Okay, but if we get the bowl, you'll see our pajamas. So let's just leave it here, okay? Okay, so we have a little bit of excess onto the top edge. So you can use your palette knife and then just carefully make sure it's level to the top of your cake and then bring it in, okay? You can do that repeatedly and clean your scraper all the time, or you can just use your scraper and bring it in. Make sure to clean your scraper from time to time.
Is that sharp enough for you guys?
Okay, there you go. So as you can see on top, there's a lot of lines. It is not perfectly smooth, but that's absolutely fine. Because as we promised, oh, by the way, if obviously the shorter ones for shorter cakes, if you want like a tall one, we've also got a long or a tall scraper.
It's 8 inches.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think while you are smoothing the cake, I can discuss the buttercream recipe to them.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so the buttercream that we use, guys, is very plain and very simple. We use the same recipe to cover, fill, and decorate all our cakes. And we use the same recipe as well wherever we go. I mean, we travel to Asia, we travel to the US, Australia, to anywhere. Basically, we use the same recipe. So for those of you who don't have yet the recipe, it's these are the ingredients. It's 250 grams of unsalted butter, 113 grams of your vegetable shortening, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 tablespoon of water, and 600 to 650 grams of your sifted icing sugar. or the sugar and crumbs icing sugar?
Well, whenever we use that, we usually just put like sometimes even half a cup, to be honest, because it's just so flavorful. But if you want a really really good flavor, you can do 1 cup. You don't have to to use all of that.
Yeah. What is your favorite flavored sugar? I mean, what is the
yeah.
flavor? What is your favorite flavor?
I still like the salted caramel.
Still salted caramel. Yeah.
But I've seen Carol's cream cheese, and very intrigued with that. So we're gonna order that one day.
Yeah.
When we have butter. Okay, but yeah, well, before earlier on, I did post about the invite for the Facebook Live, and I did put there we are going to go straight to decorating. But I did leave the link for a YouTube video that we did previously, and there's like the full instruction on how we do our buttercream step by step. It's part of the red velvet cupcake recipe and the cream cheese. So it's kind of like at the end of the video, but you can go watch with that one. So while Christina was explaining about the buttercream, since this is a crusting type of buttercream, that means it will dry up. So you actually need to wait and dry it up at room temperature, not inside the fridge, because you want this final step. So you can check if it's dry now.
I'd say about 3-5 minutes, or it depends on the temperature inside your room. So for this one, it's pretty dry. So you will know whether if it's dry or crusted when you touch it, and there's nothing coming off to your finger. So yeah, on this case, it should be dry, and you're ready to smooth it.
There you go. And the magic thing that we use to smooth our cakes is our very own cake cloth.
Ta-da!
Yes, so cake cloth is the first ever food grade certified smoothing cloth for buttercream surface. So it has been on for like a couple of years now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
it's only about 4 years back. So it was initially in a roll, and then we realized it is a lot better to have it in flat pack.
Yeah, based
So,
on
yeah.
customers' feedback, and so we listened, and so now it has come to this. So yes, all you need to do is wait for your cake to be dry, okay, all crusted, and this is, by the way, reusable for up to, ideally, it says on the packet, up to 5 times, but to be honest, as long as it's not ripped, it's okay. Right, so there's no right or wrong side. Either side you can use. Okay, so I'm going to move this a little bit in here to the top. Let's switch on to the top camera so that you can see how much lines there is. I hope it will show because it's kind of like cream color, but yeah. All right, so now that this is dry, I'm going to put this cloth basically on top, and no other tools you needed to use. It's basically just your precious fingers or your hand, and you basically wanted to flatten all those tiny lines and bumps or whatnot. Okay, there you go. So you'll feel where the bumps are. You can put a little bit more pressure into that. And what's good about by rubbing it with your hand, because obviously you've got warmth in your hand, so it kind of like softens your buttercream as well, and you know where exactly to kind of like rub if there's like a bump on that side. If it's something, a lot of people ask as well, like, can we use a fondant smoother? The answer is it's not necessary, because if it's like, imagine say this, a fondant smoother, if you just keep doing that, any bump, you'll just push it onto the side. But if you know where to rub exactly, you're only flattening that part. Okay, so I think it should be done. So I'm going to peel it off.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
You missed this part.
Yeah. There. So I'm not very much worried about how smooth that is, because we're going to cover the whole thing, but it's just to show you how to kind of like do it. all the way around your cake. So side, it's pretty much like this, and then you go onto the top as well.
But then again, guys, as Vali already mentioned, it only works on a crusting type of buttercream, meaning the recipe that I just recently mentioned.
Yes. Well, some of our customers said that they've used it with ganache, but we've never tried it. So if you guys have a packet of this, and if you try, let us know. Maybe, it works.
You can even cut it in half if you're just working on a smaller portion of the cake. That's absolutely fine as well. Just make sure that whatever is left, you either put it in a resealable bag and then set it aside. Don't try to just put it in a cupboard on its own, or just put it on top of a table, because it's a very fine material, so it will catch all the dust and whatnot.
So, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Well, I'm not going to...
That looks really good.
I'm not going to kind of like keep smoothing it because we're concentrating
It
on
is
stuff.
smooth.
Okay, fine.
You definitely did not forget how to cover the cake. Well done, you.
Okay, so what's next?
We are going to do the basket this time. So as Valerie said earlier, it's not going to be on the side. We're going to do it on the top. So approximately, can you line it now?
Me? How much piping do you want?
How much piping do you want, guys? I can stay here all night and just do
big basket,
Yeah.
lots of piping.
Well, a medium-sized basket will do.
Okay.
So I'd say about this size.
That one?
Yeah. So you would want to get something sharp, yeah, and just mark it.
There.
If you trust your friend, then you can ask your friend to do that for you. All right. So for the basket, we are going to use brown. So we have two shades of brown here. One is slightly darker than the other. We are not going to use a nozzle. So typically for baskets, you use Wilton nozzle number 47, 48, yeah. But for this time, we'll give it a twist, no nozzle. Okay, so what you wanted to do is, you just wanted to cut it. So correct size, yeah. So if I show it onto the camera, something that size, yeah. Or if you use a writing nozzle, it's gonna be a writing nozzle number 4 or 5, yeah.
3 or 4, depends.
So do you want to move around a little bit, because I'm gonna work on the
She
top?
wants to push me away.
So 2 colors, guys. What we wanted to do is we wanted to interchange the colors, so at least the shading on your basket. So I'm gonna start on the left. So make sure you cover the guide and then just squeeze down. So that's your first line, and then opposite right there. So the lines are kind of overlapping, and then just
Unlike crisscross.
overlapping. There you go. Make sure that you give enough squeezing onto your piping bag.
Are you following the line?
I think we need to wear glasses now. So, but actually, guys, you know what's a good idea, Valerie?
What?
Because these, I cannot have peace. Sorry, guys.
Move it a little
We've
bit.
been alone. I mean, we were just together for the last month, 24/7. So we're gone crazy now. But anyway, yeah. So I am doing it on a flat surface. But what you can do as well is you can you can squeeze a small amount of buttercream onto the top. So you're creating a mound-like look onto the finish of your cake. So your basket is not gonna look flat, but it's gonna look slightly rounded. Okay, that is just an option.
Yeah. It's a sort of like a 3D look onto your basket. Because if you do it onto the side, you don't really need to do that because it looks already like a shape of a basket. But if it's on top, then it just gives a character. Just makes your basket look dramatic. So can you imagine if you used like a smaller hole on that one? And that is that. Let me just show you. Carry on.
Just 1 second before you show that. So now working on to the second layer, make sure that there is no gap in between. So make sure that all those spaces there is gonna be covered all throughout.
But if there's some background or gaps showing, that's fine as well.
No.
If, say, for example, you're a beginner in piping and you wanted to do this kind of basket weaving, what you can also do to prevent any of the spaces or the gaps showing is that the bottom part, oops, I just poked again. The bottom part where your basket will be, you can cover that in brown instead. So
That is a good idea.
I know.
Or you can actually draw lines, like lines on your writing paper.
Mm-hmm.
So at least you practically know where you're going to draw your baskets.
Yeah. So Christina's doing it. What do you call that way, Christina? She's always confused about vertical
Horizontal.
and horizontal.
Horizontal.
You had to pause like 10 seconds.
It's horizontal.
So yeah, Christina's doing horizontal kind of like way, but obviously you can do it vertical as well.
Yeah.
Well
Nearly
done.
there.
Can you do it faster?
Oh my gosh.
There. So this what Christina is using, guys, would be our thin type of piping bag. So this is not ideal for strong pressure piping,
Like flowers.
like flowers. Yeah. Oh, so this will be used for like smaller details, for small piping when we do our stained glass or writing names or whatever. Only small details because it's just a single wall kind of plastic. And it could burst easily, okay? But if it's a flower piping, this type of plastic would be good. So this is what you would want if you need piping bags for flower piping.
Available online on sugarcrumbs.co.uk.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, that looks nice actually. Well done,
Of
you.
course.
Then
So
you
again,
end up with this tiny.
yeah, let's work together on the tiny space. All right. So say you have a really tiny space on the bottom. Valerie's doing that sign. Just do like a crochet at the bottom to kind of seal the gap.
Yep.
But
You probably can do like crochet kind of piping all the way around here, and then for the handle.
I'm gonna do it later on when you're done with the flowers. So there.
Okay.
How'd you like the basket?
Nice. It's something different, isn't it? I mean, it's very, very typical. You see the normal basket weaving, but this one, you don't even need a piping tip. Just a seamless piping bag, and it's not as hard. Actually, the typical basket weaving is harder. I find it harder to do that, isn't it?
It can be a bit confusing,
Yeah.
The basket.
So this one, you'll just crisscross, overlap, crosses, and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's a basket. We're ready for all our flowers now. I am appointing Valerie to show you the leaves, guys.
Why don't you share the normal leaves and I'll do the other leaves?
She's in. Right, so for the leaves, we are going to use a Wilton 352 or like a letter V shape, right? So whenever we are using this nozzle, you always, sorry, Valerie. You always have to make sure that one of the points has to be touching the surface of your cake or your flower nail in this case, and you give it a good squeeze as you slowly pull away, right?
Nice.
So it has to be nice and sturdy so that even if you shake it off, it's not gonna fall off. There's no way it's gonna collapse if it has got a chunky base. So that's the only secret. Make sure that there's always a good pressure.
By the way, just wanted to say well done, Simon. You followed me where to swap the camera from the front to the top. Thank you very much. We keep forgetting to give you a hint, but you didn't need a hint.
Yeah. So that is the leaf number 1. And would you mind showing the other way and how to do a leaf?
Yes, another way to do a leaf would be, okay, so this time it's completely different piping tip. This is Wilton 104, a typical petal tip, okay? And so let's imagine, I'm gonna cut this tiny. So let's imagine that this is the center of your leaf, okay?
Mine was a lot more straightforward.
Yeah, yours is straightforward. Okay, so for example, that is the center of your leaf. With the piping tip, you want the wide end of your piping tip to be, I'm going to do the left side of the leaf first. So the wide end of your piping tip touching the bottom, okay? And then squeeze, you can move it up and down slightly if you like sort of like a textured leaf. So there you go. And then it kind of goes straight and pointy. I'm too short. I can't see. And then you do the same thing going down. There you go. Does it look like a leaf? Okay, there you go. Looks like a leaf. Did you guys get it? Well, I'm going to do some of them here anyway. Yeah? Okay. So I need to bring the cake down because it will be too high for me.
Is
There.
that right, Simon?
That okay? Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
All right. So we've got our basket here. So you basically want to pipe your leaves first and then your flowers after, okay? Because sometimes it's hard to kind of like squeeze in the leaves if you've already piped your flowers. So, well, we don't have.
What do you need?
No, I was just going to kind of like mark it, but I don't want to get like, I know. There. Okay, so I'm just gonna mark, for example, where I want the leaves. If you've got our toothpicks just there. Okay, so
Ideally, you should have a plan before
Yeah.
you do it onto the cake, so you
yes.
don't poke as much as possible. I mean, you don't draw lines onto the cake, but
Yeah, that is the best
yeah,
advice.
that is me telling Valerie off.
Yeah. Well, but say for example, you don't have a plan.
In
You
your
can
defense.
sort of like mark it. Okay. And as Christina's shown, the leaf that she piped earlier, those are like small leaf or short leaves. You can also use the same piping bag, which is piping tip 352, and then sort of like make a longer leaves. So for example, there, I just kind of like dragged it. Okay.
I wanted to do the leaves.
Oh, you want to do
No,
the
go
leaves? Okay, and then maybe some which would be kind of like going down.
Do you reckon I should do the basket, the handle
That's
first?
why I was telling you earlier. And then she told me off.
Right, sorry. In my defense, you can do it. I mean, we're discussing about doing the handle of the basket first. But in my defense, yeah, it's okay. So the basket will just be
Not this thing.
Sorry. So basically, this motion, just like crochet, you just want it to go all around
See, now you covered my leaf.
the cape. So as you can see, guys, my non-working hand or my non-dominant hand is kind of assisting the other hand. It is a lot easier to work that way. Actually, it would be nicer if you're alone rather than, there's a friend
And
squeezing your
she
hand.
covered my second leaf, and now she's gonna cover my third leaf. See?
Just cover it with more leaves.
There you go. Why don't you carry on and that you can do later. Okay, so I won't be able to sleep soundly at night tonight if I don't cover that. So I'm just gonna go and pipe on top of it. Ta-da! Okay. So, and then the other type of leaf.
These other type of leaf, guys, well, what you can also do, you can actually freeze these ones here.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes it is easier to do this leaf if it's frozen.
Yeah.
So
Because it's
yeah,
easier to pipe on this thing
than that.
than straight onto the cake.
So what you can do is just using your flower nail, make sure that it is a really nice flower nail, and then on top of it there should be like a square parchment paper, and then you do as normal. So these leaves now, you put it on a cake board, and then the cake board gets into the freezer, stays there for about 3-5 minutes. You take it out, and then easily you just peel it off and then put it onto the cake.
There.
You're showing off now.
I know. Just a little bit.
So it's nicer, guys, that your leaves are on different shades as well. So on our case, it's like green and dark green. That should be all right.
There.
Yeah.
And then maybe later on you can add somewhere there.
And then the next thing now is you will mark where ideally your flowers will be positioned.
Yes. So, well, since Christina has showed how to do the leaf, which is the typical using the 352, might as well do a flower using that same piping tip, which very typical would be a sunflower. So I'm going to do two kind of like shapes of the sunflower. One would be flat open, and the other one would be sort of like sided one. So at least, you know, you get a variation, because typically you only see like flat open ones. So whenever we are decorating a bouquet style of flowers, we're very much visual. I don't know you guys, some of you can probably foresee everything, yeah. But for us, we need to sort of like draft it, and it is actually very helpful. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. You don't have to use yellow, you can use like a plain color, buttercream. Okay, so
Ideally the same color as your flowers.
Yeah.
Ideally.
So I think this part I'm gonna do a sided sunflower. Okay, so let's put one small flower here, and then a sided flower. A side, obviously, a flat open, the shape would be round, completely round, but a sided flower would be half circle. So let's do half circle, pointing downwards.
We hope you guys are enjoying the video. We cannot see your comments, but we will get back, if you have some questions, and we will get a chance to read all of them later on. Then, yes, we will try and catch up later.
Okay, so let's
Is this my side?
Yes, this is your flower right here. But
it's okay if you want to do all the flowers.
No,
I'll be here chatting with everyone.
I'm just putting circles here. Okay, let's do one more.
You can do some more there.
A sunflower.
No.
This will be sunflower. This is your part.
Okay.
Okay, well, I do a little bit of half sunflower here. Okay, well, I'm
want
sure.
Me to do first?
I'll do one sunflower.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure you probably don't understand what I've done here. Sorry. So this is like a half circle, although it looks like a deformed circle. But this is my mark for the half or the sided sunflower, as well as a little bit of this. This will be my full-on sunflower. There you go.
Ah, that should be my space.
No, these are yours.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay, so this one would be your yellow on a 352 piping tip. Okay, so this one I said it was pointing down, so I am going to start outside. Okay. So that was my first layer of petals.
So if you miss it, that is Wilton Nozzle 352 or a leaf nozzle.
Another layer of petals. Okay. And
Well done.
and thank you. And before I pipe the final or the bottom layers of the petals, because as you can see, the middle bit is a little too deep, so I'm going to add like a bit of buttercream first.
Just make sure it's only the half.
Yep. And then this would be again just plain brown without the piping tip, and just simply pipe dots.
Which is gonna take you forever.
Yeah. So if you have like brown or chocolate sprinkles, you can use that as well. Or what do we always say? Like the
Oreo cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tiny Oreo cookies, but you know, at the moment everything is just
Not available.
not available. So
Well, I'm not doing well with my dots here, as you can see, but you get the point, yeah?
yeah, okay.
Okay, there. So,
I think you can be a professional.
you think so?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the center. Make sure you do that after your first and second outer layer of petals. And then the last or the bottom layer of petals. So this would be where your imaginary stem is. So pointing down as well. Make sure not to fully cover your center because you still want to show that brown centers.
You
There.
still need to show everyone that that's actually a sunflower.
There you go. So
Very
that's your sided sunflower.
Well done, you.
Thank you. So the reason why I can do another one here. I'll do that quickly. But the reason why I'm not going to do the flat open one yet, because as you can see, the type of the leaves or the petals of your sunflower, it's kind of like it spreads out too much, and it's better to pipe it last because you want the petals to be overlapping the other flowers. So I'm going to do just this one very quickly, I promise.
Not saying anything.
And this would be like a smaller kind of sunflower.
So looking at it, you can see, you know, the different textures and the different volume of your flowers because it looks a lot more organic, isn't it? Because flowers are not super flat. Not all the flowers in a bouquet would be full on. Some are slightly squashed, and that's beautiful
That's okay,
imperfection. Yeah. Is that another half flower?
Yes, but just a smaller one.
Yes. It's so soft spoken, Valerie.
Okay. And what you can also do is you can add sort of like two different shades of yellow in one piping bag so that when you squeeze it out, it just gives you a nice kind of like
Blending effect.
yeah. There you go. All right, so that's all on you now.
I'm gonna do the coral and you do the purple. What's the purple one?
Oh, yeah.
So on this side here, we are gonna do like a ruffle flower or a fantasy flower, something easy that is going to well complement with your basket cake here. So we are gonna use a Wilton 103. So it is slightly smaller than the typical Wilton 104 nozzle. So Valerie drew a not so circle here. It would have been easy if it's an actual circle, but that's fine. So I'm gonna do it here. So the motion that you wanted to achieve would be just make sure that the wide end is touching the surface of your cake. On this case, your flower nail. And make sure you give a good squeezing. And then you slightly move your hand up and down. You can pause anytime if you wish to, that's fine. And then just carry on. Right? And then you do another layer.
One of the easiest flowers.
So if I do it here, just gonna squeeze a little buttercream onto the center, so at least there's more volume. Let's follow the not so circle of Valerie. So
Come on, be
move your hands
nice.
slightly up and down. There you go.
You use the smaller one onto the big one.
Ah, yeah, that's fine. So this color is a nice combination of orange and pink, which gives you like a salmon
Yeah, or
color.
coral. Yeah.
So your second layer.
So as you can see, as Christina's squeezing for the petals, she's not doing it all in one go. Especially if you needed to turn your cake, you can stop.
And make sure, guys, that you turn the turntable, turn the cake, not turn your potty.
And also another way is to, if you just cut small parchment paper squares, and you know when you do it on a flower nail, you can just squeeze a buttercream and then put that small parchment paper, and then you pipe whatever flower that you want to, and then you move this onto a tray or onto a cake board, and then you can freeze it. So in that way, since we're just working onto the top of the cake, it doesn't matter because the you can freeze it. So even if it's like flat bottom, you can just easily place it onto the cake however you like it. So yeah, it's easier to always obviously have something really small and then you pipe onto a small thing rather than this turning the whole cake.
Am I supposed to do 2 flowers?
Yeah, and then there's one there as well, and then one there.
I think we can do another flower on that side. And then for the center.
Other color, darker color.
Yeah. So for the center, guys, what you wanted to get would be spikes or just dots. What do you think?
Maybe spikes because I've done dots on the sunflower.
Yeah, so spikes, you just wanted to basically squeeze and build up and pull away.
Spikes, I don't mean to scare you, but they are very tricky to do.
Then just do dots.
If you can't do the spikes, if you can't do them uniform, just do dots. Yeah, that's easier.
2 dots.
Yeah, the trick to do the good spikes would be really pressure piping. It's what Christina said when doing the leaves. Just keep squeezing, slowly pulling.
How do you like it,
go?
How do you like it, guys, so far? It's a different size of nose.
Yeah.
She said 2 more for me. So which way? This way here?
Yeah.
So this one is slightly darker than the first one. And slightly bigger nozzle as well. Actually, it is easier to use than the 103.
Because the 103 is meant for the smaller ones.
You prepared the bags, Valerie, so I'm not sure why you did
But
it.
I did tell you that. It's actually easier to use the 104.
So you can do short squeezes as well, so that it gives a different variation on your flower. So mind you, guys, it is very, very hot in our kitchen right now.
Yeah.
But the buttercream is actually very stable. How do you like it, guys? Do you like it?
Yeah. Everyone says, looks fantastic. Thank you.
Christina, it's really, really good. Okay.
And one
Can
more.
I do one more?
Yes. That's reserved for you. Okay. And as you can see, guys, Christina's doing another flower, which is in between lots of different flowers. And she is overlapping some of the other flowers or the other petals. So we highly suggest to do that as well so that it actually looks like a bouquet. Because if you're trying to confine your flower into whatever space left, it would look weird trying to pipe just too small flower, if you get what I mean. That makes sense. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Not yet. Not
Here we
quite.
go. All right, so we've got one last, which would be for sunflower. And I am going to just add a little bit of buttercream, just so it's not too flat. And this one would be your flat open sunflower. So you flat open sunflower.
Oh, like an open flower.
Yes. So there. And this one, I would also overlap
Christina's beautiful flowers.
Christina's beautiful flowers.
It just looks a lot more natural this way, guys, rather than, you know, full on flowers. I mean, full flower for every flower. If you understand what I mean.
What did you say?
Nothing. Sorry, we're just really hyper. We're not doing anything for the last month. So.
There you go. I think I'm gonna add.
We seem to have a bit of a problem with the girls at the moment. I'll try and get them back on as soon as we can.
Got me back on here.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Hi everyone, just a moment. Simon's just trying to connect with the girls, see where they've gone. Nothing our end, we're absolutely fine here. The problem is with the delay, they won't actually know now. And I'm trying to ring them and it's going through to their answer machine, which says I can't be surprised. They are watching live as well on another appliance. So just give them a few seconds, but it feels like forever while we're waiting. Just give them a few seconds to let them realise what's gone on, and hopefully they'll communicate with Simon.
Hopefully they can reconnect
Yeah.
and we can get them back on.
Yeah, so just hang on. But haven't they done an amazing job? It's absolutely fabulous. I just love watching them. That basket weave is just gorgeous, and the two-tone effect. And they make me, I love making like the flowers, but they just make it so simple, don't they? It's just stunning. And talking of flowers, have you seen these here? Can you see them on the camera? That's okay, I've got them on. Look at these. So Michelle Quinn, thank you very much. They're all opening up now. Really very, very pleased. So these were off one of you ladies called Michelle Quinn. She sent me these with a little note that I don't want to say it to you because it'll make me blush. But just thank you very much. It's lovely, very much appreciated. And I love wildflowers, which is lovely. So have we heard anything back from the girls yet, Simon?
No, they must have dropped out of
Right,
Wi-Fi.
can we oh
They must be on Virgin.
They'll be devastated if you don't see the end of the cake. Thankfully you got to see
they
loads
must be
of it.
aware that they're not, because they were looking at the screen, so
Yes.
I did notice that. So they must be aware that you're on the screen and they're not on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. This is fun. Should I start talking about my flower again?
So I can't do anything to.
We just need Valeri and Christina to connect. So you're just going to have to bear with us. Anyhow, those of you who are on the cupcake bouquet class, come on, start telling everybody what an amazing class it was yesterday. Didn't we have great fun? And there's lots of people who have joined today, which has been fabulous. Have we got a connection again? Is it looking lively? We had lots of people joining us today who are going to join on.
Can you hear us?
So there we go, we've got a connection with Simon again now.
So you went completely dead then.
Don't worry, Valeri, we've been talking to them.
So Carol's back up. So I'm talking to them now, Carol. So I think we can go back over. So we've got the front view. We've not got the overhead view at the moment. So we can go back to them.
So everybody just hang on. Isn't it lovely technical stuff? So we're going back to London, are we, Simon?
We're going back to London. Back to
Great,
the girls.
isn't it? Go on then, and I'll carry on doing what I'm doing.
And we're back on front camera.
Thanks,
Okay.
Valeri. Thanks, Christina.
So it's going to take you 30 seconds for it to appear on your screen, but you're now live. The top is off at the moment, but
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, you can see us now.
Sorry.
That's what happens when you do it remotely.
Better?
See us?
Sorry, guys. Okay, we're back on. While it was on blackout, I did pipe some of the purple. Let's call it lavender for the sake of it, right? So rub me up. There. There.
So, shall we?
Let's just go to the front camera then.
1, 2, 3.
Ta-da! There you go. So, it's just another way of doing a floral basket. As you can see, the basket weave itself is different. And then rather than doing it onto the side, we did it on top, and it gives you a full on, kind of like a basket, kind of. Yeah, let's do it. There you go. Oh well. Take this away. There you go. Right. Well, I hope you guys like
I hope you
it.
guys like it, enjoy it. Sorry for the tiny mishap.
Yes. Well, with the flower piping, you can learn from our books. We've had 4 books so far. If you're into the flower piping, we highly suggest the 100 Buttercream Flowers.
Yeah. And the rest of the books, they're called, first is Contemporary Buttercream Bible, third is One Tier Wonders, and fourth is Buttercream Flowers for All Seasons. Everything is on our website. They're all in stock, so you can order online or you can send us message directly.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you guys. Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you, Simon.
Thank you guys, and thank you for everyone who tuned in tonight.
And please do stay safe.
Yes. If you don't need to go out, please stay at home so that we help all the other people and all the frontliners who are risking their lives for us. Yes. Keep baking to keep our sanity.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys. Bye
Thank
bye.
you guys. Good night.
Thank you, girls. That's brilliant. Thank you. Bye now.